I always forget to take my mute button off, but thank you guys for coming to Executive Espresso this morning. I hope that you have your cup of Java. I certainly do. And we are hanging out waiting on our guest, Rebecca Elizabeth Whitman, and we're hoping she hasn't had troubles this morning. But this is our 18-minute caffeinated conversation, and we like to bring you some leaders from the world of business, leadership, personal development for some just some bite-sized tips and episodes which we hope offer a unique blend of psychology, a little bit of a little bit of neuroscience, a little bit of neuroscience with your coffee, and we want to elevate your business, your leadership skills, and your relationships. And today we have scheduled Rebecca Elizabeth Whitman. She's a successful graduate with honors from Princeton. She's a mentor, international best-selling author of Phenomenal Feminine Entrepreneurs, Business Life Universe, and How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time. Gosh, wouldn't some of you guys love to learn how to do that? And we're hoping she hasn't had some difficulty. But she was selected as the Life Coach of the Year by International Association of Top Professionals, and she also hosts her own podcast. It's in the top 5%. It's got a really cool name. I love that. Balanced, Beautiful, Abundant. Wouldn't that be the kind of life to live? A life that is balanced, beautiful, and abundant. She's also a veteran guest on ABC, CBS, and at Columbia University, and she shared the stage with such thought leaders as Grant Cardone, Jack Canfield. Gosh, didn't he write a book about a chicken and some soup? That's one of my favorite books, isn't it yours? And Les Brown. So today we have on the schedule talking about how do people sabotage themselves with limiting beliefs? What's the process for a mindset makeover? And what are some best steps, some best practices to achieving goals, grit, and greatness? And I didn't come up with that. Rebecca did, and hoping she'll be here to share that with us. And at the end, we always like for you guys to stick around until the very last drop for some of our special guest tips, a triple shot of success, so to speak, on how to find your superpower. That's what Rebecca talks about. But without further delay, we'll go ahead and move on into some discussion today from my perspective. This is my office. This is where I coach my own clients, and we often meet poolside when it's pretty weather. But I have my own brew of how people can get on top of stopping the self-sabotage. And I just had a guest on the show. Well, actually, I was a guest on his show last week, the great Alan Carroll, who shared this with me. I'd never thought about it this way, but Alan said that really when you're having sabotaging beliefs, you're actually molesting your own mind. And Alan recommends let's stop molesting ourselves with our thoughts. Now, think about that if you have the power, and you do, to think in ways, as we say in the art lab, accurate, realistic thoughts. As we always say, there's an art of life, and it is accurate, realistic thoughts. And I'm keeping an eye over there because my guest will ring in on another window there. And Rebecca isn't ringing in yet, so we're hoping that everything's going okay. If she doesn't make it, we'll continue, and we'll try to have her on in the future. But just think about that. The art of life is accurate, realistic thoughts, and we each have the power to decide on arties, accurate, realistic thoughts, or as we call them, IUDs, inaccurate, unrealistic thoughts. And it's those inaccurate, unrealistic thoughts that will drive your life and your relationships and your business off a cliff. I talk most every day with a coaching client about this, and that is we're actually sculpting reality out there outside of the vault of our skulls by what we're deciding to think inside the vault of our skulls. And it's almost like choosing the right ingredients for what type of future and what type of success that you would like to cook up. It's a bit of a stew, or if you will, a bit of a brew. This has some coffee and some creamer and some Splenda. And I used to drink my black in college. Some of you've been around long enough. Once upon a time, McDonald's gave away, with the purchase of a coffee, of course, a bottomless coffee mug. And when I was in college, I got that bottomless coffee mug, and I stopped at the drive-through window, and I just want to make clear. I said, "Now you're telling me that as long as I have this mug, I can always get free coffee." And gosh, that's been a long time ago, over 3 decades ago, back when I was in college, and almost 4 decades now. And I want to take it through the drive-through, but my wife tells me I ought not do that. She says that would be embarrassing. But that coffee was just black; it had nothing in it. But I put ingredients in this because that's what works better for me today. And about your relationships, what ingredients are you putting in the relationship that best serve that relationship? Little creamer, little sugar, little Splenda. I know some of you guys are against Splenda. I guess the research is still out on that. But success in relationships is all about putting in the proper ingredients, and success in business is the same. You can't live your life any old way and put in any kind of ingredients and have any kind of success in business or in your relationship. So what's the process? And I don't know what Rebecca's Mindset Makeover is, but we have a very simple algorithm or formula for that. And I want you to go out there this weekend and try this. My colleague Sarah starts at the opposite end, which is fine. Sometimes I will start in the middle, but sometimes I will start at the A part of the ABC process, and I'll identify the situation. Like today, for some reason, Rebecca couldn't make it, and that's okay. You know, people have things come up, but that's the event. So A is the event, situation, circumstance. It's something that could be caught on camera. B is what I decide to think about it. And that's the power that each of us have. One of my favorite quotes, Viktor Frankl, I'm sorry, Dr. Frank, I always butcher it, but everything can be taken from a person, everything. But the last and greatest of all things, the power to decide our own thoughts, the power to choose our own way. And that's what I'm offering you guys today, is the power to choose your way in what you're deciding to think about this problem in front of you in your relationship. Oops. Or is it a opportunity? How you're going to face this problem in your business. Oops. Or is it an opportunity? As I heard an old preacher say one time, you can wake up in the morning and you can say amen, or you can say oh me. If you get up and you project onto your day, it's going to be a terrible day. What kind of day do you think you're going to create? So people ask me, oh, you're talking about developing a positive mindset. Oh, no. No, if your day entails, oh, I don't know, digging a ditch or something, I've dug a few of those myself, as well as a few footings for houses when I was growing up building houses with my dad. And I'm not sure there's a whole lot positive about digging a hole in 100-degree weather. But you can think about that in ways that are accurate, realistic, and move your life in the proper direction. I would recommend, and we're going to go ahead and cut off after this because Rebecca couldn't make it. I'll contact her, and we'll get her on the show as soon as possible. I think she's got some great stuff to tell you, and I'm excited to hear about that superpower that she's talking about. I think maybe my wife would want me to develop the superpower of vacuum cleaning. I've never had, I don't know. I put the dishes away and stuff like that, but vacuuming, I don't know. It's just never never really turned me on or whatever. But maybe that's my superpower. So your superpower that you can begin is every morning when you open your eyes, you decide, how will I choose to look at this day? Start there with your mindset makeover. When you open your eyes first thing in the morning, what am I going to decide to think about this day? Hey guys, thank y'all for joining us. We're going to be back actually at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock, because we have a double header today. We have Jen Rulon, who's going to talk to you about being healthy and fit, even in business, even with a busy business. So come back right here at the top of the hour, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That is Chicago, Memphis time. I'm not too far from the great city of Memphis, Tennessee, the home of Elvis Presley. And go out and start your mindset makeover today. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back in just a bit.